Hi there folks, my name's Kern. Welcome back to my channel. This is yet another video in my series about the Great Blizzard Bank Heist. In short, in August of 2024, a bug caused millions of items across thousands of guild banks to vanish into the void, and Blizzard is not restoring the vast majority of these items. For more on this, please click on the link in the top right corner. Okay, today's video is about two subjects that are more closely related than you might think at first. They are trust and data integrity. While I think we're probably all familiar enough with the meaning of trust, what is data integrity? Ultimately, data is information, and integrity is about being complete and not corrupt. So data integrity is about being able to rely or trust that the data you're using is complete and not corrupt. So really, today's video is about two kinds of trust. Trust in an organization and trust in various sets of data. I've spent a bunch of time this week trying to get a small example going here about how to best demonstrate data integrity in a very real, visible way, and we'll do that in just a few. But I also wanted to take the opportunity to point out that the video game industry isn't all that old. Pong, the first video game, came out on November 29, 1972. So video games have only really been around for almost 52 years. And in the old school games like Pong, Pac-Man, and Tetris, for example, they didn't have much in the way of saving a game state to play later. They all focused on the state of the game in the moment, and once the game ended, that was it. The end. This is essentially session-based gameplay, which is the expectation that the gameplay will begin and end in a single session of play. For example, if you put a quarter into an arcade machine, you typically would get 3 lives for your quarter, and as soon as all your lives are gone, the machine forgets you ever played. There's no memory of you for the game once that session of play is over. And yes, you could usually continue by buying more lives with extra quarters, but once you ran out of lives and quarters, the machine has no recollection of you and your epic run through Mortal Kombat. Eventually, we were able to start saving the state of the game session for future play. Like when playing something like a Sierra adventure game like King's Quest or Space Quest, you could pick up where you left off. Everything about the game state would be saved, like your inventory, your questing progress, all of that. As time went on, technology and games evolved to the point where you could have things like massively multiplayer online role-playing games, MMORPGs, like EverQuest and subsequently World of Warcraft. These games employ a different kind of system, one between the client, what the player at home interacts with, and a server, the computer at the game company side of things. This is when databases for games really started to become necessary, just by virtue of the sheer amount of information traveling back and forth between clients and servers, because a database can hold on to a lot of information that will then persist beyond 1 or 2 or even 100 gaming sessions. Check the links in the description for more information. So many games these days, particularly MMORPG games that persist beyond a single or a few gaming sessions, will make use of databases to store their long-term information. That's long-term as opposed to short-term. Where you are in the game world is likely very short-term, so unless you log out or are disconnected from the game servers, that's not something that the game needs to remember long-term. Who cares where my character was standing like 7 years ago last Tuesday? Not me. I care more about where my character is currently standing or flying, so I can think about where I can next move to. Databases can store a lot of data, and much of it in an MMORPG is going to be long-term. Your reputation or your renown, your quest history, your achievements, these are all likely to be things that only change when you do something that adds rep, or completes a quest, or an achievement. As such, this data is likely to be the kind of information that gets stored long-term. Just like your bank, and your warband bank, and yes, your guild bank. All of these things are meant to store things for a long period of time, presumably until something causes the state of that information to change. That is, of course, if the organization with whom you're dealing cares about that pesky little thing called data integrity. Data integrity isn't just important for long-term stuff either. You can see how weird things get when short-term stuff is affected by it too. Here is a very basic text-based programming loop in which I find myself adventuring in a zone called Elwyn Forest. If I click on this kill something link, then I get loot and gold from the thing. Kill something, roar. I've killed an enemy and received items 605 and 78 gold and change. So back to adventuring. Wait a minute. Isn't that the same amount of gold I started with? Huh. That's weird. Let's try that again. Kill something. Roar! 98 gold and item 172. That still hasn't changed. So you can see that I'm starting out with 77 gold, 91 silver, and 20 copper. But where's my gold? Didn't I just loot 103 gold? Honestly, that's a lot for Elwyn, but still. Did I not just loot 103 gold? Where's my 103 gold? Well, here's what happened. I did loot 103 gold, but that wasn't saved to the database. I can do this over and over and over again, and I will never truly own the items I loot, and that gold will never get put into the amount of gold the game is telling me that I have. This is, to be frank, ridiculous. This doesn't even make sense to a child. If a 5-year-old kid were to see that she looted item 47 and 25 gold, then didn't have 25 gold added to her on-hand gold, or she couldn't use item 47, she would question it. But where did the gold go, she would ask. So we have to add stuff to a database in order to ensure it persists. Let's look at this example. All right, let's go adventuring. Let's go kill something. Roar! I received item 191 and 12 gold, 63 silver, and 52 copper. Check it out. It actually added the gold. Kill something. Roar! 37 more gold. I now have 127 gold, 94 silver, and 89 copper. Nice. So now that we've added a function to send the data to the database so that we're sure we're adding our gold, things should be fine, right? Sort of. In a sense, it's fine. I can go adventuring, kill something, loot things, and I'll have my gold and it'll keep adding up. But I haven't added an inventory or anything. So I don't actually have the ability to keep these items that I'm looting. Okay, give me a sec. Let's try this again. All right, so you can see here that I've maintained the same amount of gold that I had, but I now have a line about my inventory. Your inventory contains the following items. Nothing. Okay, that's fair. So we're finally on to something. I now have my character who can add to our gold pile, and now we have some kind of an inventory. So let's go kill something. Roar! I killed an enemy, and I received items 765 and an additional 71 gold. My inventory contains the following items. 765, and look, my gold incremented as well. So that's it, right? It's all just about making sure you save things to the database, right? Well, sort of. What happens if something happens to the data in the database itself? All right, this is the text-based interface for the database I've been using for this. I can show the tables in this database. You see armor, gold, and inventory. So I can select everything from gold. Select star from gold. And you can see that Kern, who is user ID 1, has this much gold in copper, because that's how WoW does it. And then I can also look at the inventory. Well, Kern has item 765 and nothing else in the other items because, frankly, I was too lazy to build it because it's already way too early on Tuesday morning as I record this. So, what happens if I just drop the table called inventory? There is no table named inventory. Let's go see how that affects our little game. So this is where we left it. And now my inventory contains the following items. Nothing, because there is no inventory to draw from. Even if I go to kill something, roar, I now have an undefined variable, item 157. No, nothing worked. So there goes Kern's inventory. At this point, we have two options. The first is trying to reconstruct what was there. Well, it was item number 765, right? So we could just modify the database manually to do that. So let's try that. We can create, oh, this requires creating the whole table again. One sec. Empty set. And now I can insert into inventory user ID, user name, values, 1, and kern. Select star from inventory. Great, but kern still doesn't have anything in the inventory. So I can now insert into inventory. I want to do item 2 and the value. Oh no, I don't remember what the thing was. Was it value 777? Oops. Insert into inventory, item 1 rather. Where user equals. Oh, values. Whew. No, that's not right. Rather than me debugging my SQL or my SQL for you and your entertainment, this is actually the perfect circumstance to show why you should have a backup. Luckily, as I was switching screens around, I did take a backup. So I believe that all I have to do is type this. Select star from inventory. Boom! Item 1 is 765. And can we see it in our little game? Let's find out. So we had the following items, nothing. Now, the gold may change because we had to restore, right? So the gold changes, but we got our item back. So you see, when it comes to making sure that the database is tweaked appropriately, it can be a little bit difficult. That said, everything is where it's supposed to be. User ID 1, username kern, item 1 is 765. Perfect. Now, this is a tiny database. It doesn't take long to back up, nor does it take long to restore. I can absolutely understand that restorations on databases the size of WoW's can take a long time and can be very complex. Trust me, I get it. I do some of this stuff for work. But don't lie to us and say you didn't take a backup, Blizz, or even imply that you don't have backups. Blizzard has run this game for 20 years, and I guarantee you that data integrity is of the utmost importance in games like this. If your gameplay isn't coherent, if it doesn't make sense, you're not going to get players to stick around. It can be the most beautiful game in the world, and if it doesn't save your stuff to a database, you are going to be pissed that you looted gold and items that never got saved. And so this is where we are when it comes to the Great Blizzard Bank Heist. After playing for 19 years, more off than on, I have utterly and completely lost all my trust in the data integrity in WoW. Am I the only one who logs in on characters multiple times and still gets notified that she's earned the Intrepid Explorer title? I don't think so. Am I the only one who has pets in cages in a guild bank showing his pet cage and not showing which pet it is? Absolutely not. What's weirder about that is when you remove it from the guild bank, you see what the actual pet cage is. And if you put it into a personal bank, it remains normal. So it's only in the guild bank that all the information about the pet itself is removed. What is up with that? You know, I haven't even checked to see if I've lost rep because frankly, I don't care too much about old school reps that might have been lost. But I know others have lost rep. And in so doing, Blizzard has lost some of their reputation with us. With me. If you can't rely on the data to maintain its integrity, if you cannot trust that the data Blizzard stores for us is 100% accurate at all times, then why play? And so this is why I've canceled my account. My subscription time ran out on Monday, November 25th, 2024. I'm not sticking around to watch mounts vanish, pets be permanently borked, or achievements lost. I don't want to lose Hand of Adal as a title, or my Rock Dalar as a weapon. I don't want to lose my Baron's mount, not even the second one that I have that I can't use that's sitting in my personal bank. If Blizzard is okay with millions of items just disappearing into the void, then they're okay with data integrity being compromised. They are okay with us losing time and energy, and yes, things of value that could correspond to real life money. And that is why I have not only canceled my WoW subscription, but I'm done with Blizzard and Microsoft as a whole. My next computer will be a Mac, and I am the person in my family who advises others. So my brother and his wife and my nephews will get Macs, and so will my parents. I am going to pull us out of the godforsaken, money-grubbing, capitalistic shit show of a company that is Microsoft, that only cares about money and their shares going up. I'm even going to sell my shares of Microsoft after I vote in their annual meeting. These folks don't care. They don't care about me, they don't care about you. They only care about money. Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, made $80 million in the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2024. The guy in charge of it all made $80 million, and they can't spare a couple of devs to work for a few weeks to fix our guild banks? Are you kidding me? Oh, and this is the best part. In the 2024 annual report, link in the description, they talk about how to earn trust. Quote, "We recognize that trust is earned, not given." And yet, they obviously don't want to earn any trust with me. Or you. Or you. No, not even you. So they have lost what little trust I had in them in the first place, and will not earn a shred of it back. I'm done with WoW, with Blizzard, with Microsoft. But I'm not done with this series. I'll be back next week with another video. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed my series, please consider throwing a super thanks my way. I'd appreciate it.